quick update on my power content because I'm testing for Laurel's new ROAS Accelerator 90-day plan that she gave us when we were in Dallas at her Palooza event. She gave these out to the people in the room. I think there are about 40 of us who are actually, there to learn. Okay. I thought it was going to be a party, by the way, guys. I didn't realise we were going to go and learn. Okay. Anyway, the point was that I've been testing since the event. So let's see, that's since September, and I actually started testing on the 13th. No, here we go. It tells me 13th, yeah? See? Because we were travelling, okay? We decided to wait till we got back and just bounce ideas around. So I've tested this many. Now, we're aiming for 7p or less. Why would we do that? We want to bring in 525%, which is about a minute long, video views every single week, 500, so you're bringing in 2,000 minimum. You could actually up this so we can bring in more. If you are just starting out, you want to do that. Your first month, concentrate on power content and bring your costs down. Why would you do that? Well, if you've got a large audience of relevant types of your favorite clients, and when you retarget them, when they're ready to buy, they will come to you. Can you imagine if that audience has like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people in it? They're going to keep seeing you. And if you know how to create, if you're experienced at what you do and you have an established business, they're going to come to you because they know what you do. They can meet you as a person, X, Y, Z. I can explain this fully in another time, but the point right now is my power content. My power content, I actually started up on the 30th, okay? I wanted to tell you that in the first 24 hours, I'd already reached over 5,000 impressions, which is very difficult, okay? And I'm wondering if it's the Andromeda update, which I think it probably could be because everything I do supports Laurel's ecosystem here. So it's helping my Facebook ads as the whole ecosystem to work together, which is so exciting. Look at my cost per 1,000. These are actually targeting the USA, the UK, and several European countries as well. And it's only costing me just over £1 to reach 1,000 people, okay? My hook rate's pretty good, so we want it to be at least 40%, and that's over 65. And my hold rate, we want people to stay for at least 8 to 10%, so it's past 15 seconds, and I've got 13. I know I can improve on these, but this was a quick, I need to get another power content out to test. This is what kind of worked last time. I'm going to add to that and then get it up, okay? And this is what I'm most interested in. Let me just make sure that's full. Okay, let me just make sure that's all of them. So I spent nearly £20 since starting this. I already have 331. Okay, not even a week yet. When that hits £35, I will know that I've had this going for a week, 7 days. Okay, and this is the most exciting thing though. 6p. That means I can bring in over 500 in 7 days, which is a week, obviously, for most of us. I can bring in over 500 video views for my warm audience to then retarget using stealth influence in the 𝘃𝗵𝗹𝗹 campaign, which means people are going to keep seeing me in their feed, and if I'm good enough to keep bringing out relevant content, they will actually know who I am and what it is I do. And for the people who I actually want to work with, did you hear that? The people who I want to work with, they will be able to recognize that I do what they're looking for. Okay, it's really important for that to happen. It's also important for you to understand who I want to work with, so that you go, well, I keep seeing you in my feed. Well, it might be because you've been watching me, maybe because you're in either the $7 program or Lean on Laurel, and you're actually learning how this works. And probably Laurel said, go see what those guys are doing. But you might not want to actually work with us, or we might not want to work with you because you don't have the criteria that we're looking for. Okay, because we only work with a few people, so that's why our content is very, very specific. But you can learn from what we do and how we're doing it, and then use that information for your own type of business, for your own clients, to actually attract the people who you want to work with. So look at what I do and go, well, I don't want to do it like Tina. Good. You want to be yourself, okay? Don't copy what I do, as in personality-wise or how I show up. Show up as yourself and speak to your audience, but copy the method I'm doing, okay? That's really important. So let's go back to power content. If you are doing this, I'm going to do the last 7 days so you can see. You see, I've only had to test 2 over the last 7 days because this one was actually down to 7 cents at one stage, okay? She went back up again. So I had to make sure that my conveyor belt information was actually up to date. And it probably was the fact that the more on point I got with my conveyor belt method, as I decided even more that I'm going to condense what I'm doing and who I'm attracting, because I actually want less conversations, guys. I want to just talk to those of you who actually want to have ads management right now using Laurel's system, okay? So I was having conversations with people actually, I could help, but I don't want to help right now because I've got enough work on, and so I want to be able to filter out even closer. I could go wider, okay? But I've now been doing this for 2 years, more than 2 years actually, since May 2023. So I've learned now that I know who I want to work with and the problems they have. So I've actually bring it closer and closer and closer together. So I have less conversations than I used to ever have. But I'm having conversations with the right types of people. In fact, the right types of people now are actually just contacting me and say, Tina, I just need you to do this for me. I know that you do it. And that's my conversation. Can you just set this up for me? Can you run this for me? I've got all this, Tina. Can you just, and that's what we're doing, yeah? At the moment, we just want to help people with ecosystem setups because we have enough ads management clients. I do want to help people though. So if you need this particular system set up for you, we have time for that. We have time for you, okay? And I actually recommend, if you're thinking of doing this in the future, this month is the time. The next few weeks, you want to get this in before Christmas. So when everyone's sitting around eating their Christmas dinner and they're thinking and contemplating, you are popping up on their smartphone and while they're thinking, because December is definitely a thinking time because everyone's kind of stopping and they're all sitting around feeling very, very full most of the time and contemplating what's going to happen in the new year. You know that because that happens to you too. So the contemplation time is coming. You want to be a step ahead of the game. You might be thinking about Black Friday. Actually, Black Friday's opportunity is kind of gone. If you've not set up already a couple of months ago, there's other people who have, and they're already in people's heads. You get a few, you will get a few, but it could be much better if you were more organised. And that's always the case. You should always be thinking into the future if you have a business. You don't want to think about, I haven't done this yet. It should have been done 3 months ago. Okay? And once you get to that stage, you'll find that your business flows because there is no, oh crikey, I didn't do that. You'll have the occasional things that break, okay, and that's okay. But then you have time to sort that out rather than thinking, I should have done that and I got this thing broken. That should never be happening in your business if you know what you're doing, okay? And if that's happening to you, you want to reflect. Do you actually want to be doing what you're doing? Because what you're doing, if it's not flowing still, it means you need to have some, make some hard decisions and make sure that you are doing what you fancy and that you love. And that, I've gone off on a tangent. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, back to the point. Power content, tested this many since September. You can see I called it TRA so I could actually identify, and that's all I tested to get to my winning ad. Okay, and if you want to know exactly what I did, okay, and I use this as well, I use my own experience, give me a shout. I'd love to talk you through exactly what I did so you can also hit your 6p and bring in your 500 minimum per week on less than £35.